YouTube channel Vinyasa Flow with Yoga Eve. My name's Eve, and if you are new to my channel, then absolutely welcome. And if you have been to my classes online before, then you're also welcome. Of course you are. Today's class is a bit of a detox flow because we're going to involve in some twists. And there is a little bit of power in there as well, so the sweat will be also part of your detox. Do as much as you can with the class, because obviously we're all different and we don't see one another in these classes. So I'm here to give you ideas, I'm here to give you a little bit of what I love to teach, and I just leave it up to you to do what you can with it, depending how you feel today, how advanced you are in your practice, and everything that goes with your day, emotionally, physically as well. We're going to begin straight away now in a child's pose, and we'll be twisting and flowing together. So come and join with me. So let's begin. So we're going to come around into a child's pose with your fingers reaching towards the top of the mat and your hips striving to press back towards your heels there at the back of your mat, bowing your head and just starting to feel your breath find your attention. Take a nice wide full breath. And making sure you empty that exhale. And then just thinking about how your back feels this morning, how your energy feels. Are you holding tension anywhere, maybe in the neck, the shoulders? And just leaving anything that you have ahead of you or that's the one behind you. Just leaving that on the mat. We can always pick it up later. We're going to walk our hands around to one side and just walk around. Maybe you're thinking that if you were at 12 o'clock at the top of the clock there with your hands, we're just moving around to maybe 10 to or 10 past. And then you feel that stretch all along that side of the body. It just wakes it up and it creates a little bit of space there. And then coming back into the center, and your head down. And then moving around the other way, so you're sort of finding, is there a reason why you went that first way first? Is this side feeling a little tighter? And then coming back to 12 o'clock at the top of your child's pose. Spreading your hands out so you can see the colour of your mat between each finger. And coming up onto your knees and hands until we find a lovely high cat spine. And then just maybe having a little move through the neck. Figure eight. Think about a twist around in your neck. And then as you dip down into your cow pose, how does it feel? A gentle back bend. Don't go there if your back feels tight. Just go to neutral if you need to. Round in top of cat. Inhaling cow pose. Moving through your cat-cow, I would always close my eyes. And I would just go with the feelings of my spine, the rhythm of my breathing, and depending on my energy, how fast or how slowly I wanted to take my cat-cow. And then if you want to ignite your core, we're just going to round into our cat spine and just hover our knees just a little tiny bit off the mat, maybe just a centimetre or even less. And they're still in that cat spine, just hovering. And squeezing your belly in, and it's tempting to hold on to the breath, but try not to. 3, 2, and then lower the knees and just find your cow pose. And then as you round into the top of your cat, tucking your toes under, and let's take that up to our first downward facing dog and just get a pedal going. And sort of always register every downward facing dog you come into, that you're approaching and you're leaving. So that each time the feelings are different. The reason you're there is different. Sometimes we use it as just a wait for the next instruction, and today we're going to think about it as one of the best part of our practice. So as you inhale, rise into your toes, your legs are hip distance, and as you exhale, pressing down through your heels and feeling the sensations through the backs of the legs, drawing up through your knees, your thighs, and your lower belly is lifted. Pushing the weight from your fingertips all the way through so it doesn't sort of feel like it's all stuck there in your wrists. And then coming forward to your high plank, and if you need to modify your high plank early class, you pop your knees on the floor. But if your high plank feels fine for you, we just hold in here just so we can establish that our shoulders are over our wrists. We're lifting our weight away from the ground rather than feel like we're heavily depending on the ground. And coming back to your downward facing dog. Now if we introduce a cat spine to our downward dog plank, we create this lovely wave of movement. So we come over the top of our cat spine so that we land in our high plank. And then we go over the top of our cat spine as we come back. So we create a wave shape. Let's do that a couple more times. So over that wave, into your plank. We're surfing in our down facing dog. Let's surf that wave all the way back to our downward facing dog. Let's do that one more time, coming over to our plank, but this time we're going to come right the way down onto your belly. Use as much body as you need to, so you land on your belly. And then we're going to move our arms, if you would, forward, so your shoulders are in and your elbows line up. And as you inhale, just coming onto your elbows, Sphinx pose. Make sure your chest is slightly forward and your gaze is slightly forward, but you're almost like you could look at the tip of your nose. And then take a little look over one shoulder. And just feel how that side shortens and the other side feels that little bit longer. And then back into center. And then over the other shoulder. Now reasonably, if that all feels okay, as you lower back down, we're going to move our hands in just a little bit so that rather than elbows, we come up into a little more height in our cobra. Shoulders are down and we're going to look over that first shoulder. And then back to the top of our mat. And we're going to look over our other shoulder. And all the way back, and as we lower back down through chest, chin, nose and forehead, we're going to come back right where we started and find our child's pose. And if that sort of feels like you need to just roll your shoulders out or have a little move around through your wrists or your fingers, then you can do that also. And just maybe just taking your knees a tiny bit wider, and it sort of feels like we're sinking into a bit of a cow pose here, a little tiny invert for your back. And then up onto your knees and hands, so you come back into your cat spine and tucking your toes under to downward facing dog. And then as you find your downward facing dog, this time let's walk our feet all the way to the top of our mat. And then from the top of your mat, bringing your hands to your shin bones and wiggling your feet and legs together so they feel like they're zipped together. And then folding over your legs and bending both knees so you get a little ragdoll feeling through your body. And then coming back to that flat back position, we're going to cross our right leg behind our left leg and walk our hands around to where that right foot was and just sort of find a little twist, and it will creep all the way up that side of your body as you twist towards that empty space. And then come back into the center and uncross your right foot and cross your left foot behind your right foot and take your hands around to where your left foot was. And see if you can keep both feet pushing into the mat. Sometimes it makes you feel a little unbalanced. And then walk that back to the top of there. And then separate your feet so they're a little bit more comfortable. Bend your knees and find your ragdoll by holding onto your elbows and just being there, a bit like a pendulum, just sort of hanging from your hips, hanging out from your hips. And just be wherever you want to be here. Maybe your neck, knees and arms move around. And then just letting the arms fall to the ground, taking a breath. As you inhale, bringing your hands to your shins so your spine is long and spacious. And as you exhale, folding over your legs with straight or bent legs this time. Coming back to that flat back. How much space between your rib cage and your hips? And exhale, folding over your legs. Taking a breath in, and as you extend the arms all the way back up, we're going to catch hold of our right wrist and take a side stretch over to our right side with enough room and movement to spin our heart up there to the ceiling or the sky. And then bringing it all the way back, taking hold of your left wrist and taking a side stretch over with that option to slightly spin up. And bring that back into the center. We're going to bring our right arm forward and take our left arm back. And drop your shoulders as your gaze comes over your left shoulder. And then reach the arms like scissors cutting. How high can you cut? And take your right arm behind you and your left arm forward. Now moving with the breath, inhale, catching hold of your right wrist and side stretching over. And then back into the center, taking your left wrist and side stretching over. And coming back into the center. Now this time as your right arm comes forward and your left arm comes back, can you pick up your left knee and just find a little balance, just taking ourselves out of our comfort zone. And then land that foot as you reach your arms up and take your left arm forward, your right arm back, and see if you can pick up your right leg. And if you wobble, it doesn't matter, I wobble all the time. And then all the way back, top of your Tadasana, and bring your hands into Tadasana, hands by your heart or by your sides. So we're going to walk ourselves to the top of the mat if you're not already there. Find a nice grounding through both feet, both legs, and then a nice open heart feeling as you roll your shoulders back and down. Take a breath in, and as you extend the arms tall, take your gaze up to your hands and exhale as you fold forward into your Uttanasana. Lifting the chest again so the back is flat. We're going to fold over our legs and really root our legs into the ground. As you inhale just one time, coming all the way back up. So if we can extend our hands a little higher so we can swan dive back into our forward fold. Lifting the chest, the gaze, stepping your right leg back and coming into a crescent moon lunge. You could always hold that there if you want to. And you don't have to take that lunge as deep as if you feel you can't. If you're coming with me, reaching the arms up into crescent moon. Going to drop our left arm down the side of our hip and take a side stretch over. And sort of feel like you've got a weight in both hands. One's pulling you down and one is pulling you over. Now as you reach that arm up, we're going to find that scissor cut. So we're going to bring our right arm forward and our left arm back, and it's going to twist us. And if you want more, we're going to take your left hand to the back of your thigh and reach your right arm up. I'm going to take a big windmill, like a cartwheel with the arms. Leave your right hand on the floor and lift your left arm up and twist it. And then I'm going to give the option to lift your back knee off the floor for a little bit later and find a good strong anchoring through that right leg. Lower your hand to the mat, step back to plank. Use your knees to lead you and come down onto your belly. And as you inhale, find a cobra where you look over your right shoulder and twist. As you look forwards, roll all the way back down through your chest, chin, nose and forehead. And as you come back to your cobra, look over your left shoulder. And then as you come back to forward, let's roll back down through our chest, chin, nose and forehead. And find a cobra together where we don't twist. Inhale. Tuck our toes under and let's find downward facing dog. Exhale, and our legs can just come back to a nice aligned hip distance position, and we can hold or we can pedal. Anytime you're in downward facing dog, be creative. Let it be a personal movement for yourself. You might want to find you just want to hold in stillness. And just enjoy the feeling of lifting your knees and your thighs, your belly's in, gaze is forward. And you can step or you can jump to the top of your mat and find your flat back. As you fold over your legs, exhale. Let's take our arms high, inhale. And let's find a chair pose, not a child's or chair pose. Bringing your hands to your chest. I'm just going to spin to face you for a moment. You're going to bring your right elbow to the outside of your left knee and twist. It doesn't matter if that elbow doesn't hook. And then back to your chair. Going to bring your left to your right. And back to your chair. We're going to go right to left a little quicker. So we're going to spin for 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Come back to chair, inhale, sweep the arms up. And then as you exhale, fold over your legs, Uttanasana. Take a breath in, if the chest back is flat, and step back on your left leg this time. And come into your low crescent moon lunge. And then make those adjustments where you need to for your hips. If you're coming with me, coming into crescent moon, you could always hang around in that low lunge if you want to, and then drop your right arm down the side of your hip. You have your weights in your hand, one's pulling you down, and one is reaching you over. Reaching the palms high, and then bring your left arm forward and your right arm back as you twist. Now we could feel really cramped here, or we can try and lift our torso and find space. Let your right hand find the back of your thigh and reach your left arm up. Now that left hand comes down and your right arm reaches up, and we twist in. Going to lift our back knee off the floor and stretch out through the back of the leg. So it's a little bit of an anchor there. And then lower your hand down and step back to your plank. Using your knees and your chest coming down onto your belly, and just finding one cobra this time. Inhale. And back to downward facing dog. Exhale. And just taking time to breathe. Breathe out those twists. Open out your shoulders, lengthen your neck, belly's in. And then we're just going to speed that sequence up just a little bit and move with our breath. So as you inhale, look at your hands, bend your knees, maybe walk or try to jump to the top of your mat and back is flat. Fold to your legs, exhale. And as you inhale, reach the arms high. Bringing your hands to your chest and finding Tadasana. Let's move one movement, one breath. Inhale. Exhale, fold into your Uttanasana. Lift the chest again, step back on your right leg into your low crescent moon lunge. Inhale as you reach your arms tall. Exhale as your left arm finds your hip and you side bend over. Inhale as you reach your arm back. Exhale as your right arm comes forward, your left arm comes back, with the option to reach back with that left arm and send your right hand high. Bring your right hand down, take your left arm up, twist in, and lift the back knee off the floor. If you'd like to add more, lower your left hand, and as you inhale, come all the way up into a high lunge. Let's repeat that sequence. Left arm down the side of your hip, side reach over. Inhale, lift back. Right arm forward, left arm back, twist in. Option to drop that left arm and take your right arm down. Windmill the arms around and step back to your plank, to your mat or find chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale to downward facing dog. Mindful of that down dog. Be with that down dog. Say hello to downward facing dog. Notice where you are. Don't whiz past it in your journey. One more breath here. And then we inhale through the nose, look at the hands, and walk or jump and try and land with your feet and legs together. Taking the arms high into chair. Bringing the hands to the chest, we're going to go for those 4 twists. You choose which way. Exhale, twist. 4 and 3, 2 and 1. Landing in chair. Inhale, the arms extend. Exhale, fold over your legs. Lifting your chest, your gaze, stepping your left leg back this time. Coming to your knee, crescent moon. And as you breathe in, extending the arms. Dropping your right arm down the side of your hip, side reach over. Inhale that arm back. Left arm comes forward, right arm goes back, we twist in. And then reaching back with your right hand, extending through your left. Windmill your arms, left arm down, right arm up, twist in. Lift your back knee. And if you'd like to come with me, lower your right hand down and come all the way up and come back up into a high crescent moon lunge. Right arm down the side of your hip, left arm comes across. Inhale that arm high. Left arm forward, right arm back. Let your right hand find the back of your thigh and your left arm the sky. Take those arms for a windmill around and step back to plank. Vinyasa your way through chaturanga or to the floor and up facing dog or cobra. And let's find downward facing dog. Exhale. So we're back here in our down dog. It's quite nice to pedal. And what we could do is just to keep along the theme of our twists and our detox. Is just to take our right hand across to our left ankle or calf. And as if you were threading your head, neck and shoulders through the space there. Just pulling into that space and saying hello. Maybe if you're looking at somebody who's practicing there with you today. And then back to your down facing dog. And let's do the same the other side. And just that little sort of thread the needle through of your hair, neck and shoulders. And then back to your down facing dog. Stretch back, rise to your toes, take your chest back to your thighs and step or jump to the top of your mat. Back is flat. Folding over your legs, exhale. And extending the arms tall. Let's return to our Tadasana. Exhale. So, just going to do a little bit of wardrobe adjustment because the top's coming up and the pants are coming down. Okay, so we're going to be at the top of the mat. Again, I'm just going to face you. We're going to come back to something we just practiced a little earlier on that took us a little bit out of our comfort zone. So before we get there, we're going to have our legs around about the hip distance. Roll your shoulders back and down, just draw the belly in, and let's find an Uttanasana. And I love this pose in Ashtanga because when we've practiced the 5 sun salutation A and the 5B, and your body feels quite worked and quite warm, the first standing pose of the Ashtanga is this Uttanasana. And to me, you can use it in all sorts of ways. You can use it as a ragdoll type way, as to recover and breathe and gather your energy. Or you can find your big toes with your 2 fingers and your thumb. And you can draw on those toes and draw your head towards your toes. And you can use it as a way to really find some flexibility. That sensation that runs all the way from your heels on the mat to your tip of your hips. And it's a way for you to find a bit of courage to bring your weight from your heels, which feels like your safety, to the balls of your feet, which feels your challenge. And that's what I want you to try and find here, a little bit of courage to bring your weight slightly forward of your heels. Let go of your shoulders and take a breath in and lift your chest. Find your hips with your hands, eyes following your movement, and feel both feet firm on the ground as you find Tadasana. We're going to leave our left leg on the floor and pick up our right leg like we practiced. But we're going to take our opposite hand to that knee and we're going to reach our other arm out in front of you. Now, if it's in your practice, you can straighten that leg and you can extend that leg and you can catch your calf, or you can even catch your foot, or you can keep your knee bent. And then I want you to try and stand mighty on that standing left leg and extend your spine really tall. And if it is in your practice, you're going to look over your right shoulder and you don't have to. Now I'm going to offer that you extend your left arm out in front of you as well now. And we're going to do a windmill with our arms. So we're going to drop our arms down and step our right leg back so that we can straighten both legs and our legs are about hip distance apart. And then reach this right arm up and reach this left arm back. And while we're here, let's just take a little heart to sky back bend. Now that right arm is going to come all the way down to the outside of your foot. And your left arm is going to come all the way up. And we're going to revolve our triangle pose. Now you of course might need to make adjustments here. You might need to move your feet around a little bit. Because life isn't perfect, and even though we put these lovely sequences in place, sometimes the feet don't quite land where you want them to. So find a twist and find a good steady confidence with your feet on the ground. And then you could play, you can twist and you can turn, and you could look at that hand with your eyes and with your heart. And then bring both hands back to the mat and lift your chest, your gaze is forward. Now I'm going to have to do a little turn back onto my mat here, so that we can then step our back leg back a little bit and come back into our high lunge. And then you can just modify this with your knee on the ground, or you can stay with your knee off the ground. Let's take a high lunge and let's use our back leg as a really good anchor to establish a lovely firm straight leg. Get your spine to be tall, and if you want a little challenge here, you've already had so many challenges, you could lift your heel of your left foot off the ground. Imagine you've got something to hold on, but it's a little high and you've got to reach up to grab hold of those handles. And then lower your heel, catch your palms together. And let's find a twist. We're going to bring our opposite elbow to the outside of our thigh and twist in. Now if you want to, you could take your right hand to the mat and your left hand to the ceiling. You could modify it with your knee on the ground, or you could open that a little bit more or challenge that a little bit more by wrapping your left arm around your back and wrapping your right arm to bind. So if binding is in your practice, let's go there. If it's not there, just be wherever suits you today. And let's bind and really find that big squeeze, that big finale twist. Bring both hands back to your mat and step back to a plank. From your plank, find your Vinyasa and your up dog or your cobra and your downward facing dog. Exhale. So lovely and long, just iron out those twists. Nice and balance through both feet, nice and balance through both arms. Across the back of your shoulders. Take a breath in, look at your hands and walk or jump to the top end of your mat. And then back is flat. Let's fold over our legs, exhale. And extend our arms tall all the way up. And come back to our Tadasana. Exhale. How are we doing? So from our Tadasana, just going to leave our left foot on the floor this time and pick our right leg up off the ground. No, we're not. We're going to leave our right leg on the floor and we're going to pick our left leg. Otherwise, we're doing the same leg. Oh my goodness. We would be walking funny all day. Going to find the back of that knee with your right hand. And we're going to find the back of your room with your left arm. Can you look over that shoulder? If you want to, you're going to take that leg and find your calf, your ankle, and straighten that leg. Again, that is an absolute option. Try not to feel you're sinking in your balance. Try and extend. And then you can either keep that leg straight or bend it in again and bring both arms out. So your balance now is challenged. Drop those arms down, change directions with them, step back on your left foot till you can straighten both legs. Reach this right arm back, reach this left arm high, and maybe a little back bend. Now that left arm now coming to the outside of your foot and your right arm extending up to your ceiling, your roof or your sky. Again, be confident to move. Move your feet around. It's a big twist and it's a reverse triangle. To me, it is a big balance. Your gaze is at your right hand or it's somewhere else in your room, in your garden, that you find comfort in looking at. Pushing the ground away from you. Not relying on the ground to hold you up. Now lower that hand down and step your left foot back bigger so you can come into a high lunge. Take a breath in and extend the arms tall and maybe sink in a little deeper into those legs. Palms reaching higher. Twisting opposite elbow to knee, hands coming to your heart. Please put your back knee down if you need to, or make it bigger by extending the arms and spreading your wings. And then maybe challenging it, some of you, by wrapping that right arm behind your back and finding your bind. And you could always grab hold of your t-shirt or your leggings if you can't reach your hands. And then strong bind, strong twist. Exhale. One more breath here. Lower the hands back to your mat. Step back to your plank. Now I'm going to offer that you take child's pose and take a rest, especially if maybe you're new, or you come with me and we put that together. One movement, one breath. If you're coming with me, let's take a Vinyasa. Still time to stop. Child's pose or downward facing dog. Exhale. Take your gaze towards the top of your mat and step or jump to the top of your mat. Anchor both legs in the ground. Exhale, fold over your legs. Take a breath in, extend the arms and bring the hands to Tadasana. We're going to pick our right leg up off the mat. We're going to extend that leg straight out and opposite arm to leg as we reach out and wobble. Arms are coming down and up as we step that right leg back and straighten out our left leg and take a little back bend. Bring your right hand to the outside of your foot and take your left arm up into your rotated triangle. Inhale, both hands down, step your right leg back a little further and lower your knee. Inhale up into your high lunge, palms pressing together. Exhale, twisting your lunge with the option to wrap and bind. Inhale, hands to mat, step back to your plank and find your Vinyasa. Through upward facing dog or cobra and downward facing dog. Exhale. Nice full breath. And then as you inhale, looking at your hands, stepping or jumping to the top end of your mat. Folding over your legs, anchoring both feet into the ground as you extend both arms tall. And bring both hands back to your sides or to your heart. Picking your left leg up off the mat. Reaching your right arm forward and your left arm back. Taking a windmill with those arms as you step your left leg back and take a little back bend here. Bring your left hand to the outside of your foot and reach your right arm up into your rotated triangle. And you know, you could always just take a triangle. Bring your right hand down and step your left leg back a little bit and bend your knee to your high lunge. Inhale as the arms lift, high lunge balance. Palms pressing together. Exhale as you twist your lunge. Option to bind that lunge as you wrap and bind. Oops, both hands to the mat, don't do that. And step back to your plank. Halfway down or fully to the mat. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. So all our standing flow complete. So from our downward facing dog, just flushing out breath. Maybe just thinking my last downward facing dog in this standing practice. How does it feel? And then as you take your gaze to your hands, you're just going to walk in, or we're going to sort of hop in to a seated exhale. And just bringing the legs around in front of you. So a couple of seated, just to find some flexibility and a little bit more twisting, a little detox, and then all the way ready for your day. So let's leave our right leg where it is. Bring our left leg in to the inside of your thigh, Mauritiasana, C variation. So we're going to just wrap or cross, whatever you prefer. I prefer to wrap my right arm around your left leg, or your right arm around your left leg, and draw that knee across your body. Take a twist. Now, feel like you're being a little physical with this leg that's coming across, so that eventually the left side of your chest and lungs is free of that thigh. And efficiency-wise, you can breathe fully into that side. And your right side not being quite so efficient, it will ask your left side to do more work. The nice full breaths into the left side of your chest and lungs. And then exhale as you turn forward. Pick up that left leg and just see if you can just target your hamstrings and your core back. The taller you sit your leg, the taller I want you to set your spine. And we've done this standing, so we're going to try it sitting. We're going to take hold of the outside of that ankle with our right hand, and we're going to reach our left arm back and twist in. And then try and sit beautiful and tall. Now as you lose the twist, I'm going to offer you that you pick up your right leg as well and you find a boat. Whoops, with bent legs or straight legs. And I'm going to challenge you in your boat with a little bit more of a detox movement, a twisting movement. So we're going to let go of our legs, but we're going to bend our knees in and make our prayer hands. And we're going to do little twists from side to side. So we're going to drop down towards our right side and then down to our left side. Coming over to right and over to left. And I'm going to count you for 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back to your modified boat and then lower your feet and sit tall through your spine. We all love boat, don't we? Extend both legs out. Inhale the arms and exhale, fold forwards. Let go of the neck tension. Let go of your arms, your wrists, your hands for a moment. Just adjust your seat so you're comfortable. And I say this to my class, you know, if you went to the cinema and you sat down on your chair and you had a 2-hour film ahead of you, but you sat your bottom down and you were uncomfortable, you wouldn't sort of think, oh, I'm really uncomfortable, but I have a 2-hour film ahead of me and I'll just have to stay uncomfortable. You'd have to wiggle around and you'd adjust yourself and you think, oh, that's better, I'm more comfortable now. And that's the same in yoga. You know why? Just find a posture, a movement, and be uncomfortable. Especially if we're spending a few breaths here. Find comfort, adjustment, so you can enjoy that film, that journey. Inhale, lift your chest. Bring your hands next to your hips and slowly come back up. Perfect. Let's leave our left leg where it is and bring our right leg in. Sit a little high and a little forward of your sit bones. And then bring your left arm across and be a little physical as you draw that knee across. And then twist in. And your little journey here with your adjustment and your comfort is to try and actually do exactly the opposite of what I just said there. And find just a little bit of discomfort. Because the discomfort I want you to find is that your right side of your chest and lungs have to do the work, because your left side is being just a little bit restricted. So breathe big and bold into that right side and just drop your gaze to your shoulder or to your hand there on the mat. And then bring it all the way back and exhale fully. Let's lift this right leg off the mat. Sit tall through the spine so we just iron out all those twists. And then, if it's there for you, in fact, no, we're going to take our left hand to our ankle, my error. Take your right arm behind you and add that little twist that we did when we were standing up there earlier on. And then come back to that single leg. Extend, and can you pick up your other leg as well? Wobbling is good. Managing those wobbles, we're going to let go, we're going to find our boat, and then we're going to modify our boat. Now your modification is to hold on to your legs all the time and just work this movement, or just leave it out completely. If you'd like to come with me, we're going to take our hands behind the back of our neck. We're going to bring our left shoulder to our right knee like a crisscross, and then we're going to switch and change. We're going to do that one more time slowly. Last one slowly, and then I'm going to count you for 10 again. Let's go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Find your boat. Hold in 5, 4, 3, 2 legs lowering, inhale, and folding forward, exhale. Find comfort, find full breath. Feel that lovely sensation in your legs, your hamstrings, the back of your knees, your calves. Feel your lungs, feel your diaphragm, back of your shoulders, with your breath, your hips, all those working muscles. And then bring your hands in and slowly push yourself up to Dandasana. So we're just going to bring our feet to the top of the mat, hold the backs of your knees and roll onto your backs and just hug your knees to your chest. Give your back a little massage, side to side or around and around. Get into those lovely deep back massage muscles. And then just squeezing the knees in. Last twist with you today. Arms coming out to the side. Let's take our legs together over to the left side and turn our head away. Make adjustments with your arms if you have to. Make adjustments with your legs if you need to. Straighten them out a little bit. Tuck them in tighter, whatever feels right. And then we're going to leave that left leg on the floor. Take our right leg over and then make a little butterfly with both legs. So feet together, hands on the inside of the thighs, comfort in your back here guys. Make sure your back feels comfortable. And just a little rock like your butterfly wings, just ready to take flight. And then maybe just taking both arms over the head so we stretch all those twists out of our torso. And then draw your knees in and hug your knees back in. Give them a big squeeze. And massage again. Arms coming out to the side. Let's take our legs over to the other side, to right side this time. Again, if you need to move your arms, if you need to just lighten the legs a little bit, make sure your legs aren't hanging off the mat. Make sure they're on the mat. You're in recovery rather than working. And then draw that back all the way into the centre this time. And go for a lovely full body stretch. I don't know if I've got enough room in front. Yes, I have. And I definitely have behind. So big stretch out like you've just woken up. You need a big yawn. Take one breath in together. And exhale. So we find Savasana. And from Savasana, you can spend as much time as you wish to. You need to, or you deserve to. It could be as long as you want. I'm going to come up and finish the class. So if you are finishing the class with me, we're just going to bring our feet underneath our knees. If you are staying in Savasana, you hang out there a bit longer. If you're with me, we're rolling onto one side and we're coming up to a seated where we started the class together. And I do hope you liked the detox flow. If you are enjoying my videos and you are enjoying my YouTube channel, and I know my filming isn't the greatest, but hopefully you're enjoying the yoga. Please subscribe to my channel and please feedback so I know what's going on with your thoughts as well as just what my thoughts are thinking. Have the most amazing day, or I hope you've had the most amazing day if it's evening for you. And as we roll our shoulders back and down, we take a breath in. And exhale your hands all the way down to Namaste, and enjoy your day, your morning, your afternoon or your evening. Thank you for joining me.